Before the sun even thinks about rising, the cold has already won. The air is so sharp it feels like it can cut skin, and the silence is heavy, broken only by the crunch of boots on ice. In a small frozen village tucked between mountains and endless white fields, children begin the day not with alarm clocks or warm breakfasts at the table, but with layers of worn coats, stiff gloves, and breaths that turn into clouds the moment they step outside. For them, school is not just a place of learning, it is a journey that tests courage before the first lesson even begins. Imagine being 8 or 9 years old and knowing that if you want an education, you must walk miles across ice-covered paths, frozen rivers, and roads where one wrong step can mean a fall into pain or danger. These children don't complain the way most kids would. They've learned early that the cold does not care about excuses. The ice does not soften because you are tired. Every morning, they tie their boots tighter, pull their hats lower, and step into a world that feels hostile but familiar at the same time. The path to school begins in darkness. Streetlights are rare, and the moon often reflects off the ice so brightly it hurts the eyes. Snow crunches underfoot, but sometimes it's not snow at all, just pure ice polished smooth by wind and time. The children walk in small groups, not because it makes the distance shorter, but because it makes the fear lighter. They talk about simple things, about a dream they had, about a test they're worried about how warm the classroom heater might feel when they finally arrive. Their laughter sounds fragile in the freezing air, like it could shatter if it gets too loud. Some mornings the wind is so strong it pushes them sideways. Tears form in their eyes not from sadness, but from the cold that bites their faces. They wipe their noses with sleeves already damp from yesterday's snow. Their fingers ache, first numb, then burning, a warning they've learned to respect. Frostbite is not a word from a textbook here. It's something they've seen, something their parents warn them about as they send them off with quick hugs and worried eyes. There are rivers along the way, frozen solid most of the year. The ice creaks under their weight, a sound that makes hearts race. The older kids test each step, tapping the ground, listening, signaling to the younger ones when it's safe to follow. Trust is built on these paths. Trust in each other, trust in experience, and trust in the belief that education is worth the risk. For these children, school is not optional. It's a promise their families cling to, a hope that someday life will be warmer in ways that have nothing to do with temperature. As they walk, the sky slowly changes color, from deep black to dark blue, then to pale pink. The beauty of it is almost painful. Ice-covered trees sparkle like they're made of glass. In moments like these, the children forget the cold for a second. They feel small but strong, part of something bigger than themselves. They are walking the same paths their parents once walked, and the grandparents before them. This journey is tradition, survival, and determination all wrapped into one. When they finally see the school building in the distance, it doesn't look like much. It's small, simple, and often old. But to them, it might as well be a palace. Warm air spills out when the door opens, and the contrast is shocking. Cold, stiff bodies relax as numb fingers slowly come back to life, sometimes painfully. Boots line the walls, coats hang heavy and dripping. Faces turn red as warmth returns, and quiet groans mix with relief and laughter. Inside, the classroom is alive. The heater hums loudly, fighting against the outside world. Desks are worn, books are shared, but eyes are bright. These children listen closely, not because they are forced to, but because they know what it cost them to sit here. Every mile on ice, every freezing breath, every stumble was paid to earn this seat. When a teacher speaks, they listen like the words matter, because they do. During breaks, they look out the window at the endless white and know that when the day ends, the journey will begin again. The walk home is often harder. The body is tired, the sun is lower, and temperatures drop fast. Shadows stretch long across the ice, and the wind feels colder than it did in the morning. Still, they walk. They talk about what they learned, proudly repeating new words, new ideas, carrying knowledge home like something fragile and precious. For many kids in the United States, school is a short bus ride or a quick walk down the street. It's easy to take that for granted. But somewhere in the frozen parts of the world, children are proving every single day that education is not about comfort. It's about determination. It's about choosing to move forward even when everything around you feels frozen. Their story isn't just about ice and cold. It's about resilience. It's about how far someone is willing to go for a chance at a better future. These children don't see themselves as heroes. To them, this is normal. But from the outside, it's impossible not to feel humbled by their strength. When night falls again and the village grows quiet, boots dry by the fire, and tired bodies rest. Tomorrow, before the sun rises, it will all begin again. Another walk, another test of courage, another step across ice toward a classroom that represents hope. And with every step, these children prove something powerful, that even in the coldest places on Earth, the desire to learn can burn warmer than any fire.